You stupid bitch. Yeah, you're a stupid bitch. You stupid bitch. Welcome to this week's super special episode of Stupid Bitches Say What, the Aussie podcast about everything and nothing, but always with wine, and your hosts, Skyly Collett and Sean Hipkins. And this week, our spousal guests, Tyler Baker and Vinny Kirby, please, will be joining us. Yay.
This week, it is our season 5 finale. And what better way to end a season than with our Eurovision Special? Episode we literally spend months researching for. Listen in as we discuss the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest. In preparation for this episode, all four of us have individually ranked the acts from 1 to 37. We will each reveal our top 5 and then combine those scores to reveal the Stupid Bitches Say What top 5. And of course, we'll make a few special mentions afterwards. Ooh. Hold on to your headphones, stupid bitches. It's about to get Eurovision wild. What are you drinking, Sean Hipkins?
Well, on a day like today, in an episode like this, you know I like to celebrate with a little sparkling. So I'm drinking a Prosecco, but it's good things come to those who wait Prosecco. And it's an elegant looking duck in a dress.
Right. Yes, I see that duck.
And
Quack,
it's
quack.
quackity quack. And oh my God, I love this. So, and I didn't notice this, but it's so super relevant. This label has been designed by a young female designer in Lviv, Ukraine, and it's got the Ukraine love heart.
Oh, right. Lovely. I love the duck. It's so cute.
It
Well
is
done.
cute. And as we know,
Young woman drawing the duck.
young lad. And as we know, Ukraine are the official hosts, I guess, of this year's
Well, the winners
Eurovision.
of last year, yeah. Not
As the
so much
winners
the host,
last
but
year.
should have been the official host. But
Yes, yes. So
shoulda,
that
coulda, woulda.
sounds. Now let me have a sip here.
How is it?
Oh, that's actually quite nice.
Oh, lovely.
There's no Prosecco tang. I just want to check the alcohol content. It always worries me when it doesn't have that.
When you don't get shivers.
Yeah. That's approximately 6.8 standard drinks. So that's reasonable.
That's a little on the light side, but Prosecco's always are. They're always lighter.
A bit lighter and fruitier.
Yeah, they're lighter in alcohol generally.
What, pray tell, are you drinking, you stupid bitch?
Well, look, we have my sister's birthday celebrations this afternoon.
Oh.
So, and we it's mid-afternoon, or what would you say, early afternoon, I guess.
Yeah.
For us, it's just rocking 2 p.m. Rocking past 2 p.m. So I'm on an extra dry, but just to sweeten it up a little bit because I didn't want to be too boring. I've also double banging with a vodka cider.
Oh, look at you go. Love it.
No champers for me. I could have got a cheeky Prosecco, but then I thought, oh, when you start the champers early, you don't know where the night's going to head after that, do you?
That's right. And the Ted's a bit of a sparkle anyway. Can't beat the old extra dry.
I love the Teds, and Tyler really likes the Summers, which I don't mind as well, but he tends to buy them more. And I said to him this week, please buy some Teds. I haven't had Teds in ages, but they're also more expensive. The Summers are about $6-7 cheaper in general, a carton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I can remember when Teds were the cheapest of the cheap, mate.
Yes, it was so good. Motherfuckers. How's your week been?
Oh, yeah, my week's been good. I did have some things I wanted to talk about, and I've totally just flown out of my head. Oh, yes, of course. Okay. Thank you for reminding me.
Pleasure.
Bang. So I did do something really interesting about 2 weeks ago now, because we haven't podcasted for a couple of weeks because we're just coming back for the finale and the super special.
Right.
Hashtag Eurovision. So for Christmas, I got Tyler and Link clay shooting
Oh, was
gorgeous
that a Chrissy
shooting.
present, was it?
Yeah, it was. It was a Chrissy present for both of them. And you had to pick the date. So the date, obviously came around quickly.
Yeah.
And as I got closer, I was like, I think I might want to have a go. Like I feel
Good
a little
on
bit
you.
left out. But you had to buy two. It was like in pairs
Right.
at the time. Anyway, so we rang up and they said, yeah, rock up on the day, pay $165 plus.
Ahead.
Yeah. So I think I got a special for Tyler and Lincoln. It was 180 or something. Maybe it was
Right.
220 or something. So a little bit on the dear side, but I was already
Fun
there and I was like,
experience.
I want to have a go.
And different.
Yeah. So, and I didn't realize it was full ass shotguns, man. So the kind of shotguns they use hunting to hunt ducks and shit. Big fucking rifles, like, you can't really tell on the podcast.
It was this big.
They were really long, like those really long guns that you see in the movies.
Hard to hold.
Yeah, and it was a bit scary. Certainly I concentrated throughout it way more on not hitting myself in the face constantly, and I walked away with quite a red shiner up my face and an incredibly sore elbow. Shoulder. Because as you know, I have almost zero upper body strength. So I managed to hit a few. I won a medal. So Tyler won the comp. There was probably 15, 20 of us that were all there. So Tyler won the competition. Link got third.
That's great.
I got the best woman.
Well done, Tals.
Oh yeah, I know. So there was only 3 women, but still, I'll claim it.
You still won.
So I think I would have managed to hit a lot more targets if I wasn't so focused on actually holding the weapon and preparing for the recoil that comes back, that whacks you in the face, which is quite intense and quite intimidating. You need to be a strong person, I think, to comfortably shoot.
Yeah. So you're shooting clay pigeons, right?
Yeah, little discs, like green, bright orange. They were orange discs that they just have they press a button and then it flings through the air, but comes at all different directions at different speeds and different angles and stuff. So, you progress to much more harder targets. But Link was an absolute natural. And whilst Tyler won the comp, the chick was just blown away by how well Link was doing. And for both him and Link, actually.
Was it the first time for both?
Yeah, but Tyler's had a little bit of experience with guns when he was younger. Like his dad lives on a massive property and they do a bit of shooting there for wildlife and stuff like that. All legit stuff, obviously. So he's been around guns a little bit and has had some target practice. Link, however, has never picked up a weapon. He's played a lot of shooting games on the Xbox over the years.
So build up his confidence a little bit.
Certainly knows how to hit a target. But she was just like, oh my God, I can't believe neither of you have shot before.
And you had neither, and you got best in show.
Yeah, and I was actually pretty impressed because most of the time, as I said, I was concentrating so hard on not smacking myself, like holding the weapon so firmly, and you've got to jam it into your shoulder and then jam your face against it to hold it in place. That's why it needs a really good lock on it.
Yeah.
And so focusing on that and then trying to hit a moving target, you can only sort of concentrate on one thing, I guess.
Yeah.
And because I'd already gotten whacked, because the recoil is so full on, I had actually whacked myself a number of times. So when we got to the end, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to have a big bruise up my face.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Have a swollen face for work the next week. But yeah, it was very, very fun. It was something that, I can say that I've done now. Like I've shot a weapon. And they're proper bullets. Like they've got, I think they call them little ball bearings in the bottom. So they're like a casing of, yay big. Yeah. About the size of, I don't know, what would you say? One of those really big peanuts in a shell. Probably about that length.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Held peanut.
And then they have like little ball bearings in the back and that's what they shoot. But it's like weapons that you would use.
How many shots per target do you get?
They sometimes let you do, so when the comp started, so at first it was like the practice shots and then you did a few drills, and so we were there for probably nearly 3 hours.
Okay.
And then the last half or the last hour or so was the competition. So once the comp starts, only get so many, but she actually let me have a second go once or twice, I think, because she could see that I was struggling. There was the 2 other women that were there were quite small and petite as well. So all of us as women were, I think, because even just holding the gun, because when you're holding it to like sort of prepare, the weight of it is so heavy. So even just picking it up, like face height is
Yeah.
quite hard for people who have no upper body strength. So then having to jam it into your shoulder and push your face down and then aim and, pull that trigger, it is very fun. But highly recommend it.
I can imagine the anxiety would be up there too. Well, like, where is it coming from? Where is it going to be?
It is. It's very much like that. But I totally think that you and Vinny would love it. So
I would
get
like
a voucher.
Yeah.
Where you get the
2 for deal.
The 2 for deal. And go and have because it's only at Belmont.
Yeah.
Go and have a go because I'd be interested to see what you think because it was pretty cool.
It took me back to my golden eye on the Nintendo 64 days.
Well, I was thinking duck hunting on the Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
The quack quack bang 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 bang. But yeah, I wouldn't do it again.
Okay. Once was enough, but it had fun and
yeah, it was also it was an awesome experience. But the boys would definitely they were like, we could totally do this. We want to do it. Yeah,
cool. Oh, good. Well, at least you know you can get them for Christmas next year or this year.
I know. We pretty much got to the end and they were both like, I just want to keep shooting shit.
Yeah, I could imagine that too. The adrenaline would be pumped. Yeah.
My shoulder's really sore.
Mama's got a black eye. I'm out.
So that was my exciting week. How about you? How's your week been?
My week's been good. So coming up to Eurovision OBS, I do a Eurovision sweep at work and this will be the third one. And previously, because our organization was a bit smaller the last couple of years, I'd put it out a couple of weeks notice and then have to do a couple of begs. Can you please join the sweeps to a few people who would do it? It's only $5 entry. But this year, our organization's grown quite dramatically. Put it out there and within 24 hours, the 37 sweep places were gone. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's been great. So we started a Teams chat up about it as well. And all the people who've I've never even met because we've got regional staff now are all sharing their love of Eurovision. Can't wait to be in it. And so the banter has been wild and it's good fun. So I did the sweep and I did it through a generator. You can find a generator online that's dedicated to Eurovision sweeps. Put in the names and I'm scrolling through. Guess who I got? I'll give you 3 guesses and I'll give you a couple of hints. 1, they're definitely not in my top 5.
Keep going.
2, I'm pretty about it. And I guess the third one is you definitely know who it is. It's not like some random one.
I'm going to say it's Ukraine.
No. 2 more guesses.
All right. I'm just trying to think. Hang on, I've got my list here. I'm going to say then it's probably Samamisa Pina or Saucer C Luna. I've got where's the countries anyway? Oh fuck, I don't know. Blood and Glitter.
No, Cyprus. Andrew Lambrow.
Oh yeah, he's way down for me.
Yeah,
he's 32.
So as we know, he tried out for Australia Decides last year and didn't do quite well. But I found some information about how he got into Eurovision this year. So after the aftermath of last year's national final for Australia, he was approached by Cyprus's broadcaster, CYBC, for a potential collab and fast pass to the actual Eurovision. And so he was able to get in just through his performance. So good for him. So
he obviously has some heritage there.
Yes, yeah. And you can see that by looking at him, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other fun fact for this week is we get our Foxtel through Telstra and they've started a rewards point thing. So you just get points for each bill that we pay.
Yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, I get rewards. I don't pay for my Blockbuster movies half the time.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, I got a thing saying, you've got these points expiring. What do you want to do? So I had a look at them and got a $50 Amazon voucher. And I was able to buy with that and chuck in about 10 extra bucks. I got something for the cats. You'll see the new little cat scratcher in front of the bookcase there.
Oh, yes,
little wooden TV thing. So I got them that. I got Vinny 2 tubes of his favorite toothpaste back from Ireland that you can't get here.
Oh, wow, they have that on there.
Yeah. And then I got myself a little something.
Oh, a little fan. Oh, I love that. That's so
big old hand fan. I thought I wanted one for ages. I can't believe how fucking big it is, though. That's all card orientated too.
Yeah, I love that. It's
when
really
I'm sitting here during the podcasting and work, I can be like, oh. So I got that bad boy and it came. Vinny's devastated though, because mine and the cat's presents have come, but his hasn't yet.
Oh no, it's probably because I had to get it shipped from Ireland or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it comes from
Imported.
England somewhere.
Yeah, I've got a bunch that I got through that reward system. I got my little, my Google Home that I have that I put in the kitchen. I play my music through and
Oh
I
yeah,
talk to it all the time. So I got that for free. I got a pair of because we have our internet through Telstra. So every month I pay the internet bill and Link's phone, and we get points from that.
So you get quite a few points.
Yeah, we do. And so I got the the AirPods, but not the AirPod brand.
Yeah.
Bit
of variation.
Some of those. I've got a bunch of stuff, and also then I've got the points for the Big Pond movies. So get the Big Pond movies app too, because sometimes it's stuff that's at the cinema that you normally have to pay for, and you pay like 10,000 points, but you get it for free, and you can watch it at home.
All right, that's cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah,
we only get our Foxtel, so it's like $50 a month.
Yeah, well, we only pay like 100, 110 a month, I think, and our points rack up pretty quick.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, I've used them for heaps of stuff that comes in quite handy.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Oh, and movie tickets. You can get movie tickets through it for free as well.
Yeah, and you can get cheaper ones with Telstra as well.
Yes, yes, you can. I get them through Telstra all the time.
Yeah, it's a good way to do gold class, cheap.
Yes, yes, indeed. So, little intro on Eurovision. This year, Eurovision, if you didn't already know from our previous podcast, because we've said it enough times, is being held in Liverpool in England on behalf of last year's winners, the Ukraine. The semi-finals will be aired live in Europe on Tuesday the 9th and Thursday the 11th of May, and the grand final on Saturday the 13th of May, day before my birthday, please. However, for us Aussies to watch the live shows, it means we have to get up at 5 a.m. in Australia on the mornings of Wednesday the 10th and Friday the 12th of May, and the grand final on Sunday the 14th of May, which really will be getting up at about 4:30 because we've got to get set up and get our stuff together, have our little brekkie, and it's my birthday.
Yay! Do you think you'll get up and watch any of the semis? I think I
definitely will this year. Yeah, last year we did because randomly we were awake for the first one. I think we both got up early and we're like, shit, and we missed like 15, 20 minutes of it, and then we just watched it. And I can't remember. I think I was working from I would have been working from home then.
Yes, yeah.
So we watched both. We watched the first one, but not the second one, I think.
Yeah, I did the second one, not the first one, because I think the second one had Brooke and Australia in the same semi last year. I mean, Ireland and Australia in the same semis last year. Yeah. So I got up for it, and then Vinny came out and we watched it. But yeah, I missed the first one. But this year I'm just going to do it. I've got to go to work in the office both days, but fuck it.
Yeah, I think it's just the hype of it too. Like, it's so exciting to watch it after like being engaged with it this whole time, and then for it to come on, it's like, what?
And you don't want spoilers. You don't want to wait for the 7 p.m. playing of it that night, because you see who gets through and who doesn't get through. And
it goes reasonably quick. Like,
it is. It's like 2 hours or something, isn't it?
Put a lot of shit. Like, they do a little bit of talking and a little bit of extra acts and stuff like that in the interviews. But they hammer through it quite quickly, don't they? So it's not like you're sitting there for 5 hours or anything.
Exactly. It's not like the Grande.
Yeah. Very exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So 15 acts will compete in semi-final 1 and 16 acts in semi-final 2. The top 10 acts from each will then move forward to the grand final, along with the big 5, United Kingdom, Spain, Germany, Italy, and France. And last year's winners, Ukraine.
But there'll be 26 in the grand final. God, it's going to be such a buzz too, watching all of those at your house on your birthday. But we'll get into that later when the boys are here, so they can share in the love.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's come so quick too, hasn't it?
It has. So this year there's a couple of rule changes that have come into play for Eurovision. On the 22nd of November 2022, the Eurovision Broadcasting Union announced changes to the voting system for this year's contest. So the results of the 2 semi-finals will only be determined solely by the televoters, which was also the case between 2004 and 7. But they obviously dropped that then from 2008 moving forward. So the juries won't have any influence on it, while the results of the final will still be determined by both national juries and televoting.
That's interesting, because I've seen the OGAE, is it the one for Australia, the judges? And it says, like it said, they've already picked their top 10, I thought, unless I'm reading it wrong.
It's weird
for the
because I've seen
semis.
that in maybe they're doing it for the semis. They've picked it, but their votes won't count for this year. So maybe they've still got their, hey, this is who we support.
Well, interestingly, they didn't have Australia picked.
Oh,
The Aussie jury.
well,
Well, unless it was the semis. Oh, that's right. You can't pick your own. Of course you can't. Yeah, right.
But the move came after it was discovered that 6 juries traded votes at last year's Eurovision contest in Turin, Italy. So the irregular voting patterns were detected from Azerbaijan, Georgia, Montenegro, Poland, Romania, and San Marino.
Montenegro is not in it this year.
No, they're not. Yeah, because when I was updating our Instagram tiles with the flags and all that shit, I noticed, I was like, oh, who's Montenegro this year? I don't remember it. Yeah, they're not. There's another new one. There's one that was in this year that's not in last year, but a couple have dropped out. There was 39 last year.
Yeah, well, that's a shame, isn't it? Like the more in it makes it more interesting.
The better.
Like because was there 40 or 41 last year?
There was 39 last year, and I think the year before there was 40. Yeah.
Right.
But also, and I was trying to find this before this podcast because I read it earlier. There was one country that got through to the grand finals last year that didn't get any points from the tele votes. It was all based on the jury votes. And I think I feel like it was
Serbia?
Cyprus, I think. Serbia definitely got the tele votes because they loved Mishmani.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it knocked out. Do you remember Croatia's TikTok? There was that TikTok, and it was a really cool, funky pop one, and it was really great, and everyone was quite surprised it didn't make it through. And that's the one that got no tele votes, knocked her out of the grand final, basically. Yep. Also this year, for the first time ever, viewers from non-participating countries will also be able to vote in all shows, with their votes being aggregated and presented as one individual set of points under rest of the world. So those viewers will be able to cast votes via an online platform, which requires ownership of a credit or debit card for verification. So they'll be at their own country, basically, the rest of the world. There won't be a jury for it. It's just all the tele votes. So it'll be interesting to see, like, America be voting, China, all these countries that don't get Eurovision will now get a say in who they like or who that gets to progress.
I love that. That's cool.
I know. I kind of feel like Eurovision's just going to open up into this world music song contest.
Yeah, I would love that if it did. I think that would be amazing.
Imagine how many semi-finals there'd be.
Yeah.
Perfect. Imagine how long our playlist would be. Imagine trying to get a top 5 from that shit. Jesus. But a couple of fun facts for you. So if the public vote rule was in place previously and the juries didn't have a say in it during Australia's time in Eurovision, Australia would have only qualified 4 times and missed out twice, noting Guy Sebastian automatically qualified for the grand final in our debut year competing in Eurovision. So the ones that would have qualified would...
so they gave him a free pass just because it was our first year?
Yes, he went straight to the grand final.
They're so inclusive, aren't they?
They are. Everyone needs a little bit of Euro love. Dami Im, of course, Jessica Mauboy, Kate Miller-Heidke, and Sheldon Riley would have all got through just on televotes alone. Montaigne still wouldn't have got through, so it didn't matter that she didn't get enough jury votes, but Isaiah Firebrace also wouldn't have qualified for the grand final based on the televote.
I love Isaiah Firebrace.
You do, but do you remember his song when he went solo for Eurovision?
I don't actually. I only know of him and the Evie Irie one,
which is fantastic.
I love that song.
I actually do quite enjoy that song, but yeah, I didn't really love his solo song when he went into Eurovision.
So what year was he then?
He went the year after Dami Im, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then it was Jessica Mauboy.
So who was second? Who was the entrant after Guy Sebastian?
Dami.
Right.
And that is
Dami, Isaiah, and then it was
Jessica, then Kate Miller-Heidke, then Sheldon. No, then Montaigne, then Sheldon.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Dami, because Dami won all the jury votes and she got third in the televotes. So I think if Australia had been more established in Eurovision at that stage, she probably would have won it. But I think at that point, there was a lot of countries still not believing we deserved to be there.
Yeah. Boo.
Boo. Did you see that? To be there. Did you see that video I tagged you in of New Zealand putting forward their case to be in Eurovision?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's actually brilliant. There's these two Kiwis, a guy and a girl, and they sort of sing this mock song about why they should be in Eurovision, and it's actually quite funny. It's hilarious because they really want to be in it
trying to get in.
They want to be in Eurovision now too. Yeah.
And why won't they let them? Why haven't they been accepted?
I think it's because Australia's was a very special consideration considering of the 40 years of Eurovision being aired in Australia, and
we had broadcast
the hype, and we've been broadcasting it for that long, and plus we're one of the highest nations per capita that watch Eurovision as well, so who knows what the future will hold. As we said, Euro World might be a thing.
I would love to see New Zealand, and they're such a multicultural society as well. Like, I think they totally deserve to be in there. Everyone moves to New Zealand from all over the world.
I'll see if I can find that video or Google it after this. It's fucking hilarious. They do a really good job putting forward their case to why they should be in it in this musical number.
Go New Zealand, go.
Go on, Kiwis. All right, should we call in the boys?
Yes, I think so. Boys!
So welcome in Tyler and Vincenzo, our spousal guests, to our very special Eurovision episode.
Howdy. Hello, hello.
Yay.
What, pray tell, are you stupid bitches drinking?
I am on the teddies.
And
also show them the size of the glass.
Big body.
Oh, Jesus. I see no ice was spared in the making of that drink.
Yes. Well, I put the vodka in the freezer before, so.
Oh, very good.
It's cooled it down a tiny bit.
Nice.
So a beer and a pint of vodka.
Love it.
Pretty much.
Double parked, as usual.
And Vinny?
So I'm gone very European, given the situation we're in. So while it looks like I'm drinking Heineken, when it take off its clothes, it reveals itself to be a Moretti, an Italian Moretti.
Oh, nice.
Where's it from?
Italy.
Italy.
So we first had them when we went over to Ireland last time, not the time we just went 3 years ago, and all his family were drinking Morettis in the pub off the tap. And so Vinny's hooked now. We'll have to bring. We'll have to bring a carton around one time.
It's absolutely delicious, and it's not that expensive. I think it was like $52 for the carton or something like that, which is kind of unusual for export.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it's lovely.
So yes, we were all fortunate enough to go to our very, very first, and I think it was Brisbane's first preview Eurovision party ever. We all got to go together. How much fun?
Oh, look, it was awesome, especially the fact that we didn't get to go to any Australian sides this year. So at least we got a kind of a consolation prize.
Yeah. And there was nothing better than all of us on the dance floor screaming out the words to every single song with a bunch of like-minded people also screaming out the words to every single song.
That was the best part, just being around people that you didn't feel any judgment from singing Eurovision.
It was the definition of a safe space.
Yeah, 100%. Although how random was it that the baseball cap guy with the long blonde hair ended up being the head of the
one
band.
of the organizers?
Oh yeah.
Did anyone's preferences of Eurovision songs change after attending it, or are you still pretty solid?
No, I think for me, that really made Stay jump up a lot for me. Even though I loved it and I was already trying to figure out where it fit for me, singing along the words and screaming out the words to it.
With everyone else doing it.
With everyone else, it just made me go, oh my God, fuck, I love this song.
Yes. Yeah, mate, me too. And how cool was it to see one special guest from Ireland?
Me. Yes, everyone loved it that I was there.
I mean, the other one.
Oh, Brooke.
Not you.
That was awesome. I think I saw it on her Instagram that she had promoted it, like, we'll be in Brisbane. And I was like, what's this? Dug a little deeper and saw it was the party. But when you were talking there about the songs, did it change top fives or anything like that? Oh, I don't know if it changed them. But what I did find is I got right behind the Irish one when it came on, because it's like, oh yeah, it's the Irish one, and when you're an Irish person in a different country,
of course,
the further you move away from the country, the more patriotic you get about it. And then as well, when the Aussie one came on as well, Like the whole crowd was just equally as enthusiastic for that one. And that was nuts. It was just like, whoa, whoa, oh. And I would never in my life like kind of a rock song like that or bop to a rock song like that.
It's the atmosphere, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I couldn't help but bop.
It like reinvigorated like how much I actually love the songs. Like
reinforced it all.
Yeah. And remember, I ran to the toilets because one of the songs there's only 2 songs that I actually really don't like in my bottom 36 and 37, and one of them came on, and I raced to the toilet so quickly. I'm like, I've got 3 minutes. It only goes for 3 minutes. I'm gonna get to the toilet, and that's when I stacked it in the cubicles, and the toilet was full of women, and I just flew in there and just like hit a bit of water on the ground and went
you poor bitch.
Smashed my knee up, and I like sat there for a minute going, and everyone's like, are you okay? Oh my god. I'm like, just give me a second, it really hurts, but I'll be okay. I've got to get back for the next song.
Yeah,
that will always remind you of the smack that you got in that.
Hearing that song.
She'd be like, boo.
I guess the highlight definitely for me was when we knew there was special guests going to each of the preview parties around Australia. And then when the guy came out and just said, before I introduce this next guest, I've got 3 words: she was robbed. And I just remember going, it's her, and running to the middle of the dance floor.
And you knew it was her. You had said 1,000 times how much you thought it was her, and I was like, nah, I don't think she's going to be there. It's going to be someone else.
And then I remember I was in the middle of the dance floor without my beer, and I ran back and I'm like, where's my beer? And then pushing past people again too, and people just giggling at me, and I was just stood there in awe while she performed The Sound of Silence.
It was great. It was, she performed very well. It was awesome.
I felt like I was floating afterwards. I was just walking around in euphoria. I was just like, I can't even remember.
Euphoria.
And what about when Brooke sang that? She sang
that was
cool.
good. That was good.
And she sang Hold Me Closer as well.
Yeah, she did. And that was awesome too.
That was excellent.
Yeah, she was quite good at those two. Yeah, agreed. But yeah, the Dammy factor was just like a Jesus Christ, hold my beer, bitch.
Yeah.
And just ran right up. I was like, where's Sean? Where's Sean? He's out there. Couldn't miss him. Climbing up on Dammy's back. And it was just, especially after watching it for years, and every time the clip comes on, you're just really belting it out. But to see her then in person do it, it's just like, oh, thank you so much, bitch.
Yeah, I know. It was great. And I remember when Vinny came up, and I know it was Vinny at the end, when I was standing there and I just felt this arm come around to me and start swaying me. Didn't even look behind. I just assumed it was Vinny and just stood there like that. It could have been some creep. Could have been Brian Griffin coming up.
It was at the start. I pushed him off.
Yeah, it was so good. And definitely be doing that, I think, as often as we can, unless it collides with someone's birthday, of course.
I guarantee it'll be bigger next year too.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think it can only get bigger.
So speaking of birthdays, we have a grand finale on someone's birthday. Which stupid...
On my birthday!
And how are we celebrating?
By listening to Eurovision from 4:30 in the morning.
Drinking bubbles. Well, we're going to be sensible. Have a coffee and a croissant, and then a shit ton of bubbles.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
As we did last year.
I do like. And I'll be able to drink with you guys next.
Yay! I know, Tyler. Bloody hell! Last year you had the patience of the fucking saint.
Oh man, how
you still do, mate? I still do with you fuckers.
That was. I think you went through about 8 hours.
Yeah, it was. It was about 8 hours. Well, yeah. 4:30. I think we left yours about 1:30 or something.
Yeah. And the Eurovision, watching the Eurovision was only a small little part of the day. That was like tiny. The rest was like clipped in after clip.
It was Eurovision aftermath.
Put on this one, put on this one.
I was comatose when I got into the car, and I was just like saying, KFC. KFC. I want KFC.
Yeah, you done well, Tyler.
I remember last year there was it was obviously well into it, and I think it was after the grand final had played, and Tyler was sat on the couch, and Vinny you were on the floor at one point, and then he got up and sat next to Tyler, and you were leaning into him singing a song. I looked at Tyler, and Tyler's just sat there smiling, just looking around like this. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Considering how devastated he was.
You. I know, yeah, well, he did well. Ultimately, he did well, old Poland.
Yeah, he's still not over it.
I am not really over that either. I still follow him on Instagram.
I think it's stupid.
It is.
So do I. I still follow him too.
What's his name again?
Christian. Ackerman.
Ochman, yeah.
Okram, yeah. He's very talented, incredibly talented. I do feel he was a bit robbed by his
He's
place.
got a powerhouse of a voice.
Yeah, 100%.
And Rod, where did they end up last year in Poland? Was it 8th or
Eighth, I
something?
think. Yeah.
12th. Oh, are you sure?
I don't know.
It was low. It was
It was
like
just above Australia because I think Sheldon got.
Oh no,
14.
Sheldon did real. Yeah, because he got okay off the jury, but he got like 2 points from the televote.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Poland, I thought were a shoe in last year, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, no one was going to beat Ukraine last year.
But it's also funny about how when they all get kicked out in semis, how you reassess who you're going for again now. Like when some of your favorites go, you're
And
like,
when you
shit.
see him live as well.
Yeah.
performing.
Yes.
And it does take a while to adjust after that too. When some of the faves don't get through, you're just like, oh, stupid competition.
What are we going to do now?
Yeah, and then you have to just kind of like, okay, get over it and move on with your new favorites.
Because Brooke didn't get in, did she?
No, and what really stressed me out about that, I still lose sleep about it. She done an amazing performance in that semi, right? And the crowd went nuts.
Yeah.
And the other thing was she was in amongst all of these ballads, right?
Yeah.
And the ballad after ballad after ballad.
It was the year of ballads last year, wasn't it?
Like when we talk about that, like Danny was robbed, but like Brooke was robbed
to make it
as well. That same kind of just like what the fuck happened here?
I do think it was their song choice though. Like as much as it was catchy for us, I think if you weren't religiously invested in that, you wouldn't have gotten into it as much because it was a strange sort of song choice. Do you know what I mean? Like
it was, but I also think that her, not say she's inexperienced, but her lack of experience compared to other people that were representing their countries, she lacked in that area. There was just a little bit of stage presence that was missing. She could have been a bit louder too. And look, when is it about the song anymore anyway? It's about the performance.
Performance does have a lot to do with it.
It's about the feels that you get from watching it and not just listening to it.
And needless to say, after the Brisbane Eurovision preview party, she has gone ahead and blocked us all on social media. And got a restraining order in the works.
On the stage, she loved us though.
Yeah.
But off the stage, she was like, meh, meh.
Back off, bitches.
She ended up in the Wickham that night, and she did. She sang "That's Rich Again."
Oh, really?
An impromptu performance.
An impromptu, yeah. It wasn't planned. It was just like, oh my God, Brooke from Eurovision this year, and of course in a club full of gays, what's she going to do? I'll get up and sing.
Yeah, of course. I just remember after you guys had the selfies with her and everything, and her walking in, and I was sat on the couch and I saw her. I was like, and she just like looked at me and looked away, and I was like, oh, that's how it is, hey?
Yeah, like you're with them, are you? I'm going.
She's had enough of the Aussies.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what the people downstairs? So it was up in La La Land above the Prince Consort. Could you imagine what the people in Prince Consort were thinking when like Dami came on and when Brooke came on, just hearing this roaring and shouting and the ceiling shaking and shit like that?
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on up there?
The funny thing was when we got there, and we said to the bouncer, is the Eurovision thing on upstairs? And she's like, what's that? Like, oh my God, you're hosting a Eurovision event here. How do you not know what it is?
And your staff don't know.
I was like, oh my God, Eurovision is wasted on you.
And we walked in, we thought it was going to be really intimate, remember? Because there was hardly anyone there.
Yes.
And we were like, shit, this will be cool if it's just like a little crowd. And then when we got in there, it just kept filling up and filling up and filling up. And then we're all just like sardined at the end.
Because even the hosts looked a bit concerned when we turned up. They were like, oh, yay, there's people here.
Yeah.
Come back in fucking 20 minutes. And we did, and it was full. All right. Anyway, let's get into our top 5, shall we?
How are we going to do this? Who's going first?
Should we do it in order of the rankings of the final results from last year?
That's perfect. Yeah. Have you got the rankings?
I know. I think it was Tyler, Vinny, me, Sky. All right, hang on.
Got to defend my crown this year.
You do have to defend your crown, Tyler.
Crown.
So starting, what's your 5th position in your top 5, please? Who have you gone with and why?
So it is this one was hard because I really didn't want to pick it for ages, and everyone else loves it. And I was just like, oh, and then it just started growing on me the last couple of weeks. It's just slowly grown on me, and I've been trying to push it out.
Well, it's
But
gonna be
then the other night I couldn't. It's a pretty good song.
well, to be fair, Tyler, trying to cull this year, I think, is a really strong year.
It was hard.
You'd have a top 5 that consisted of 13 so songs.
Yeah.
Trying to cull it, it was just like, oh, it breaks your heart when they drop out of your top 5, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I had my top 3 were locked in.
Yeah.
We're locked in for ages, and I stuck with that. And then
But
it
you
was just,
changed them around the top 3
Yeah, I chopped
order.
I
He-
chopped the
he
order.
I've done that
agonized
too.
over the order
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
top 3. He knew what they were, but he didn't know what to put 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
So my 5th one was Dua Vitae.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't hate it at first. I just didn't want it to win. I think it's a really fucking good song now. So
Nice.
It's probably the
Yeah.
one that I get stuck in my head the most, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
And this is number 5, is it for you, Tyler?
Yeah, number 5.
And
So
it's-
and I was like, it was nearly number 6, and then I just thought it's a really good song, and
Yeah. And the
it did
performance.
start getting stuck in my head a fucking lot.
Yeah.
And I hate it when songs get stuck in my head because it just fucking bugs me. But yeah, it just snuck in there. So
Yeah. And his performance backs it up too, I think. The song.
yeah, look, at first the start of the song was boring
Too
for
slow.
me.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the song, the passion comes out in it. So and
Yeah.
he's screaming, even though he doesn't move around a lot on stage or whatever. Because you know I like the performance as well.
Slow mo.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yes. But yeah, he picked it up at the end of the song there. So I pretty much gave it to him for that.
Very good. And it's interesting too when there's songs like that you actually love and invest in that you'd have no idea what the fuck they're saying. Except for Musica. All right.
That sentence kills me every time because it's the only line that Sky knows.
Do music.
The rest I make up the words too.
Yeah, me too. I say things like algebra and a Riverdirci and shit like that, which I don't
Pretty
even
much.
know.
It makes you want to learn Italian though, really
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah.
And
So,
when you
yeah.
do see the English translation of it, it's like that makes 0 sense whatsoever.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
All right, Vincenzo, what's your number 5?
Number 5 is Sweden
Oh, tattoo.
Tattoo.
I feel like we're going to
Alright.
have a few crossovers in our top 5 lists. So how did she get your top 5?
First of all, it's an amazing song. I just didn't see it as being a winner. She carries a great reputation with her and a huge, massive, solid fan base already. But as much as I love it, I didn't think it was warranted of my top 3. I couldn't push anything out of the top 3 to make room for her. So I just thought it was only fair it's 5. I love the words of the song. And last night going to bed was probably one of the rare times I go to bed with my AirPods on. And I just listened to her about 3 times. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, amazing. So she's definitely deserving of
Your top 5.
my top 5. Yeah. But there's others I love more than her. So out of the way, bitch.
Well, my 5th spot
Who was
is
it though? I didn't hear who you said.
Sweden.
Sweden, Lorraine.
Oh, right.
I think you were reading the.
Yeah,
your songs.
okay, sure.
So my top 5 is my 5th spot is Norway, Queen of Kings, Alessandra.
Oh, okay.
And this was
okay.
one I felt deserved its spot. She was one that moved in and out of my top 5 for a while, but I felt she deserved a spot in my top 5 because when the playlist first came out, it was one of the songs that just fucking got me hooked straight up. And I remember playing it for you, Sky, when we were at the Bottomless Brunch. I'm like, so the playlist's out. Listen to this one. And I was playing Queen of the Kings and you were going, oh yeah, I like this. And I thought, yeah, no, she deserves the top 5 spot
And it
because
screams of Eurovision.
it does. She just needs wings.
She totally needs wings. I agree with that.
You get wings.
No.
How about you, Sky? What's your 5th spot?
So my top 5, I'm not sure if any of you guys are going to have it. I mean, my number 5, I'm not sure if any of you guys are going to have it in your top 5. And it's Future Lover.
Ah, yes. Which country is that again?
I was just
Brunette. Her
Brunette.
name's Brunette. That was the artist.
Israel?
No.
mm.
That's what I was trying to figure out where she was.
No.
Oh no, she's Armenia.
Yeah,
Armenia, that's right.
Yes, love that song. Can't stop singing it. She wants to drink in coffee in cafes and meet a future lover and be
Wearing all
good, do
gold or
good,
something.
do good, do good.
And around a be good, be good. Is she the one with the long plaits?
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Yeah. I know the one now.
That's a song that when I first heard it, I was like, but now it's one that gets stuck in my head, especially the beginning of it as well.
See, the first time I heard it, I loved it instantly, and it was a late release too. It came out right close to the end.
Yes.
It didn't come out until the last, week, I think, when they were releasing them. And then I heard it for the first time. I was like, I fucking love this.
That's that one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, Tyler, what were you saying?
Oh, just that she's hot too. So.
Oh, well, look, that also adds points. Agreed. All right. So now our fourth spot, Tyler, who got
fourth? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So my fourth spot is Sweden.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. No, I just really like Loreen and her voice. Her voice fucks me up every time. I love it.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I just don't want Sweden to win.
Me too.
I get that from a personal point of view. I don't want them to win because I don't want them to equal Ireland. I think
Just
Ireland.
give someone else a go. She's already won it. Just fuck off.
Controversial, but anyway.
No, I just think she's really good. She's a good performer. And just the way she moves around on the stage too. I think really as everyone knows from Euphoria, that was fucking awesome. So
one of the best songs ever of all time.
I love it.
For Eurovision, definitely.
17 for me, FYI.
Oh. Burn. Vinny, who's your top fourth spot?
Norway.
Oh, Queen of Kings.
Her name is
the Queen of the Kings.
Very similar to you, Kurt, what you were saying about what is one of the first songs that you heard from it, but
from the playlist,
deserving of the top 5 and 4 because I just feel it's an absolute Eurovision anthem.
It's a banger.
It's the kind of song that you would expect, and it does everything. It's that out there song. It's very Scandinavian as well. It's kind of like a Game of Thronesy kind of a feel to it.
She's very strong in that film clip too,
very strong. And what she's singing about as well is very 2023 too.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful. But yeah, it's a banger. Like an absolute banger. When they played at the Eurovision party as well.
Yeah.
Got the crowd.
Everyone was screaming the words.
Yeah. And it was just like kind of these ones. So it's a very empowering song. She sings it awesomely, and I think it's a Eurovision classic.
Yeah.
So definitely up there, number 4.
And that's
one of the really interesting to see how it all pans out, isn't it?
Yes.
Because there is so many good ones. It's like, what are people going to go with this year?
Very, very strong year. And that's why you can't go against those odds, that Eurovision world odds that they bring up, because last year that didn't hold true. And
Azerbaijan last year did really well. That was in the top 10 last year, remember?
And was it like a less than 1% chance of winning?
Yes. It wasn't. It wasn't tipped to do anything really. So
so you can't.
Closer was the pick last year. Remember Sweden? Like everyone thought it was going to get really high.
Ukraine
got third or fourth.
I think she came fourth or something, didn't she?
I think. Well, it was Ukraine, UK, slow-mo, and then Sweden.
Slow-mo to come third.
And then 5 was washing her hands, Meghan Markle.
Yes, which was another surprise one.
Which I definitely didn't expect
to get in the top 5. Yeah.
And I definitely wouldn't have picked Sam Ryder's
Spaceman.
No way.
I still don't think.
Amazing. He sings it brilliant. He's got
it wasn't that great
voice,
though.
But I was just like, second.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised. Yeah.
And has anyone heard it since, like on the radio or anything? No.
They did play it. They played it on the radio a few times right after Eurovision, but nothing like fucking Sway.
Snap.
Yeah. Like that still plays.
I was really happy for the UK though, because they were kind of like Ireland, like getting drowned out in the last couple of years.
Oh, the last fucking 10 years.
For them to get a bit of reputation back. It's awesome, and it's led to being in Liverpool this year.
Yeah, puts them back in the running again.
It totally does. Yeah, it invigorates them.
Yeah. All right. So my top 4, my fourth is the same as yours, Tyler. I've gone for Sweden as my number 4. And it was the same. I had the same view with Loreen, like when she was coming in. When I first heard it, I thought, it's okay. It's definitely no Euphoria. But I thought, it's okay. But then after listening to it more and more now, I just fucking am always singing it.
And just the performance too, like she's just so confident.
Yeah.
And I love that too.
You say the tone of her voice and everything. And I love her face. I love her lips. I know they're pumped up to the gods, but fuck, I want to say like it.
You love a big lip.
I do love a big lip. How about you, Sky? Who got your 4th fate?
So this one for me was really hard in my whole top 4. Like it went around and around, and I kept crossing out and putting it like above others, and then eventually I just had to put it number 4, and that's Bridges. You know how much I love Bridges. I love it. It's got some really good lyrics in it, and she just kills it when she sings it, and she's really beautiful too.
And she plays
got some tits on her. Yeah,
she does.
Yeah.
There is some titties this year. There is a few titties. I like some titties.
Tyler does love the titties. Yeah.
The interesting thing about Bridges, it's always be like it's. I don't want to say too much, but there's something about it that always goes in my head, thinking, I think that could win.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it could be one of the surprises that you just don't really give it the credit it deserves, and the next thing it just comes out of nowhere.
She's incredibly talented.
Right up there, yeah. Every time I listen to it,
but it's a ballad.
Yeah, and
I just think because it's Estonia, it's not gonna win.
They're not gonna get the vote.
Yeah,
it's not a very super well-known country.
Yeah, and politically we won't get the votes the way others back each other.
Yeah, but interestingly, I've been talking about it at work quite a bit. We were talking about this before about Eurovision, and I've got heaps of people at work who are really into it. And I've spoken to 2 people who've been to Estonia, and they reckon it's one of the most. I don't know if you've ever been, Bino.
No.
It's such an amazing country, is what they were telling. So this guy that I work with, he's traveled all through Europe, and he reckons it's his number 1 country ever that he's visited. He said the old town of Estonia, because there's like an old town and a new town part apparently. He reckons the old town is insane, and he loved it so much. And it's the cheapest place to fly into from Australia for flights. If you go to, I've been looking into it a little bit.
Of course you have.
But it's the cheapest place to fly in from Brisbane.
And it's interesting because it is, as you said, not one of the countries you'd think you'd ever go to. Yeah.
I was like, Estonia, is that a fake country?
We'll have to cross the bridge into Estonia then.
No, I think must have makes the
It's
list.
fucking very catchy, that song too. And I've been so pissed off lately because I wake up in the morning and it's fucking stuck in my head.
I was saying,
and I'm like, why? And then Sky will start singing it when it's out of my head. I'm like, why do you do this?
Back in.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was saying to Sky, throughout the last couple of weeks, I've been waking up with a different Eurovision song in my head.
Yeah.
Some of them that I don't even like. I just wake up.
Tyler. He's fucking
like
Eurovision.
One day to be Bridges, the next day to be Voyager. And
I have Blood and Glitter as well.
Blood and Glitter, yeah, that one too.
Oh, no,
I'm going to get PTSD when it's over. It's funny, like I'm the very same. There's never a moment during the day when a Eurovision song isn't in my head. Waking up in the middle of the night, I'm singing songs, and it's how I pick my favorite. So
you know what we'll do though, after the day that we have, like last year, we were like, we can't hang out for a little while now. We've ruined ourselves.
Yeah.
I'll be waking up Monday morning singing "Oh my baby, down the phone again."
Oh, don't do that. Don't start doing that, because that'll get stuck in my fucking head too. That was the one last year that was just stuck in my head all the time. Just that phrase, because you guys just kept singing constantly.
That was that crazy one at our place.
Yes, that's right. That was after.
Oh yeah, when
we did our
when he came in at 3 o'clock in the morning, fucking wrestling and
we just video just
kept me pretending to be asleep.
Yeah. All right, we're up to our top 3. Tyler.
Okay, so my third one is this one was, I was tossing up because my number 1 was locked in from the start, and I think you all knew that anyway. So, but my number 3 was like 2 and 3, 2 or 3, 2 or 3, 2 or 3, like the whole time. Okay. And it was my number 2 for ages, but then I ended up just bumping it down a tiny bit to 3. So it's Norway, Queen of Kings.
Oh, wow.
I think she's just fucking awesome. Yeah, she's such a boss, mate.
Yeah, she is
fucking
a boss,
weapon, and she's so Viking-like, like so Norwegian.
Doesn't she?
Yeah.
Massive stage.
And I love the use of her arms, which is why I don't think she needs wings. Because it's meant to be a metaphor, right? Her arms are a metaphor for her fucking wings. So
oh, very good.
That's right. That's why I don't think she needs wings, because then it'd be too.
But even when she does that sort of walk on the spot thing, with
and she's like, "Fucking this is my stage, bitches."
And this guy doesn't love Eurovision at all, by the way.
No, it's stupid. It's stupid. I hate you guys for getting me into it, and I regret ever buying those tickets for Sky Christmas.
Yeah,
because that was the downfall.
I think you're right in what you're saying about the wings there. I'm understanding that the wings would take from the strength of how she looks.
It's a metaphor,
100%.
people.
Oh, Alexandra, I hope you're listening to this, pet.
Alessandra, please. Double S, no X.
Alas.
Who's your top three, Princess?
So number 3, it shouldn't come as any surprise. It's Cha Cha Cha.
I thought you were going to say something else, actually.
I thought he was going to say something else too.
The first time I heard it, I watched it, I was like, you absolute fucking nutter, right? I thought he was an absolute headbanger of a fella. And I didn't really like the song. I thought, oh God, rap. And then rap in another language is another whole level. It's like kind of.
I don't think it's rap, is it?
It is kind of rappy.
A little bit. He's a rapper. I've looked him up. He's
rappy, grungy.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of genre.
Ethnic rappy, grungy.
And then
/ punk.
Listen to it again, and then the cha 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 part, and then the video of him controlling the cha cha dancers and stuff. I was like, this is all actually piecing together for me. And as much as it didn't make any sense.
Human centipede.
Human centipede.
Yeah, it makes loads of sense now. And how catchy is it? You know, and it, like even the
cha cha cha.
And he's just fucking nuts.
And the listening party, the guy that dressed up at him with the dress up, like that was the coolest thing ever.
For him.
And everyone was just screaming at him like, yeah.
When he came on, he came running out.
If I was to go party with any Eurovision performer, I'd go party with him.
Oh yeah.
I'd be the first person I called. Are we going on the sesh? Yeah, right. Cha cha cha.
I'd totally do lines of coke off his tits.
Yes, that's and I would.
And we'd all wear the green puffy things.
Yeah.
Just talk into the cup dress
he
like
would
that.
just be a proper headbanger to go on a session with. Are we having another one? Yeah.
Cha cha cha.
Cha cha cha. We are. But yeah, absolutely love it. I think it's another classic.
All right. So my third one is all I'm going to say is Je t'aime tout Lithuanian tout. So she was one who actually dropped out of my top 5, came into my top 5, dropped out of it. And it's again, when after watching it for so many times, I'm like, there is no way this bitch can't be in my top 3. I fucking love her.
And the listening party, and then hearing everyone scream the words to it was like, it just cemented it for me. It was just like, it was magic. It was just that bitch is cool as shit.
Yeah, I love how she sings with the backup singers too. She has her own moment with them. I just hope her appearance and her stage performance picks up a little bit.
I worry about that too.
She's got very closer vibes.
A
little bit.
Yeah.
He said that a lot.
Monica with the K.
Yeah.
I love her. She was one of my favorites from the start. I thought, oh my God, I love this song. And then anytime I have a look at the betting odds on Eurovision, she's just not doing too well.
No,
yeah, but again,
what the fuck?
Serbia.
But she will definitely be like a Snap. That like Snap has probably one of the most played Spotify's of 2022.
Yeah.
And I reckon that
she'll be up
probably
there.
because of Sky.
Yeah, all the Sky.
So I googled what Juto Tuto meant. I wanted to see what translation is, and there's actually no translation. It's like I was going, yeah, or whoa, or something like that.
I love that.
Yeah. Juto Tuto. Yeah, whoa.
So are we saying like 2 toes? Juto, 2 toes, Juto, my 2 toes.
Yeah. And what was your top 3, Sky?
Okay, so this one you guys are going to be probably surprised at. No one's going to agree with me on this one, but my number 3 is Burning Daylight.
Oh, I can appreciate that.
What one is
I
that?
love that song.
I could fall asleep to that
her
song.
lyrics.
Oh, I love that
just
song too.
Love it.
It gives
so
me total.
much. It's Switzerland, isn't it?
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Netherlands
no,
always have bangers.
I can
Or
appreciate.
the last year banana.
They were my number 11.
Oh wow.
Pretty good song, but I just felt like I could fall asleep to it every time. I felt like it was just a.
I quite like the film clip for it too. It gives me total Lady Antebellum vibes.
I give them.
And she looks like the fucking mouse from Ratatouille with her rat's tail as well in her face.
And boy, can she cook?
Yeah, she was a no for me.
Oh wow! No, I love it. I quite like it.
But it's an okay song, but it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna win.
I hope it gets to the Grandy at least.
This isn't about winning though. This is about our fave.
I hope it's fave.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Top 2.
Okay.
Getting close.
So I don't even think any of you have this in your top 5 at all.
Okay.
Oh, you probably don't now. So, but mine is My Sister's Crown.
Oh yeah.
By Vesna. It was always going to be in my top 5.
Austria.
What country?
Croatia.
Croatia.
Yeah.
It's 30 for me.
Oh wait, let me just check.
Czechia.
No, I don't think it's Czechia. Yeah, it's not Croatia.
Yeah, sorry.
Which is the old Czech Republic.
Yeah, check now.
Czech.
Yeah, I just think the 5. I think there's 5 or 6 of them in the group. I just think their voices together is going to be fucking amazing at Eurovision, like just live. I think it's going to be excellent, like because they all sing that.
I didn't realize it
My
was a
Sister's
group.
Crown. Don't take it down. Don't take it down. Yeah. And I just think that the chorus, they're just fucking awesome. And then they chuck that little bit of rap in, and I think they're just super cool and fucking awesome. And I like the lyrics. The lyrics are cool too. And they're just like, because I don't know I don't think they're all sisters, but they're talking about my sister's crown.
I think they're like that means
the sister connection sort of thing. I don't know. I just means,
sisters in like other women, like you're my sister from a different mister type.
Yeah, sort of thing. Yeah. And they're just backing each other up, sort of thing. And I just think their voices together is fucking excellent. So
yeah, it'll be a good performance, all right, on the night.
I just had a quick look, and Sky and I both have that song in our 30s.
Yeah, I knew that.
Sorry, hang on.
It was really hard putting Tyler's top 37 because there were so many times I was like, disagree. And it was almost like I was tempted to change it. And I said to Bino, I said,
He'll never
there's
know.
no point. There's no point. It's not like it matters. But so I was like, how dare he put this at this number? How dare he put this at this number?
Agreed. Because when I was putting in Vinny's ones besides his top 5, and I saw his Netherlands one, he gave 32. I was like, what?
32, Vincent.
Yeah.
I told you. I said the second you said it, I said, nah, they don't even score for me. Like when I first watched them, the first time I watched the video, I just went, nah, not next. It just didn't have any impact on me.
I know. And I quite like the video too. All right, Vinny, who's your top 2 spot, please?
So coming in at number 2, and this was obviously the hardest decision that you can make between 1 and 2. Because you're going to like...
Oh, no. My number 1 was solid.
Right. Okay. Well, it's my turn. So Tyler mentioned it a couple of weeks back, and I was just like, nah. Listen to it, watch the video. I just absolutely fell in love with her and the song. So it's France.
Oh
my
God. It's all right.
There is not an hour in any one day where I'm not going around
Eat on, Mom.
Just absolutely love it. And that video, and like in the last 30 seconds or so, when she does the really high part, and then she kicks in and the hips go, and
she's Jessica Rabbit.
She's just all voice and can get away with just standing still.
The shoulders,
that little
the
hat
hips.
on her as well. It's just, it's like the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing song. And I love how she mentions the word France in there as well.
Yeah.
It's just like, everything about it. And it's funny because this is probably one of the first years in Eurovision where I have songs, non-English singing songs that I'm really, really liking.
Dominating.
You don't even know the words to them, but it's just, it sounds amazing. And France. I did battle, but France
is your number 2.
My number 2.
I agree. I think when I'd first heard it, when it got released, and I was just listening to it, and Tyler had said, "Fuck me, France is amazing, blah, 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 best one," in the chat. And I listened to it, I was like, it's all right. But then when I saw it, the performance backs up the song so much too, because the shoulder pads, those pointy things, the hips, the beret.
And we saw her on the bus the other day.
We saw the chick on the bus the other day.
There was this chick on the bus who's the fucking doppelganger of her. And I was like, babe, she's from France.
Yeah, he is good.
It's on the 60 from West End into the city.
I think she's a definite contender overall. All right, my number 2 pick. It's already been announced by Tyler, but it's Italy, Eurovision.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Number 2.
My number 2, classic fucking song. He makes me cream my jeans watching the sweat shimmer off him as he fucking puts his emotion into it. No idea what he's saying. Again, I just say Arrivederci and Algebra and Musica over and over again, and it seems to fit. But yeah, I love him. I think he's amazing. I love the passion, love it all.
The passion is just, he just oozes passion. It just, you see it sweating out of him.
Yeah.
And the video that they did for him, like with the orchestra and everything there, it just looked amazing. It was like you're watching, I sound like X Factor now, but it's like you're already watching a winning performance.
Yeah.
He's just, he's amazing.
Very good. All right, Sky, who's your top 2?
Well, interestingly enough, my number 2 is the man.
Juvite. Oh, very good.
Hey.
Because he is just sex on legs.
Yeah,
he
agreed.
also makes you cream your jeans.
He just needs to pump his shoulders up a little bit.
I just want to lick him. I just want to
the salty sweat off his body.
I just want him to talk to me. Say, hey, Vinny.
I just want to hold his hand, just be like, hey.
I got you, babe.
Maybe grab his arm a little bit and be like, oh, yeah.
See, funny story. I was doing a line of coke off his cock and I had to stop halfway and get my breath. All right, drum roll, please. Our top 1 selections, starting with Tyler.
Okay, so I think you already know what this one is anyways. I've said it from the start, first time I fucking heard it, that it was going to win, and that's my favourite. So, France.
Yay!
Just fucking excellent, mate.
Obviously.
Yes.
You stick to your convictions, Tyler. You picked it ages ago.
It wasn't changing ever.
No,
it wasn't changing.
Committed to that song since day 1.
Yeah, and I purposely haven't listened to it for about since the other night because
you don't want to. I
don't want to overdo it, and I didn't want to change it, and I didn't want to overdo it and get over it, sort of thing.
Yeah,
because I have played it a fucking lot. So, I just think her fucking confidence and she's so sexy on the stage.
The moves.
And I know I'm all about the performance and things like that, but fucking the performance matches the song perfectly.
I think her performance is A class.
She doesn't need to do anything else.
Yeah, and the way she like looks at the camera and stuff, just her fucking everything about it, I think is just awesome. And it's just a sexy song. And at the viewing party, it just confirmed that it's my number 1 spot because it was. I think everyone went off the loudest.
It's nice getting the atmosphere from other people.
Yeah, and I was like, sweet. I think I'm right.
It went off for her. Everyone was like,
yeah, and I know everyone's been saying it's a toss up between her and Italy, but I think.
You think she's got it?
I think she's got it 100%.
Love that.
There's like, I know it's already in the grand final because it's one of the big 5.
Yeah.
But she just is fucking amazing. So I'm pretty keen. I'm keen to hear it live, and I think live is just going to be even better than the actual music. The music video is insane. Yeah. And then when you hear it live, I think it's just going to be excellent.
That's what I'm looking forward to because, like, with the Juovice, that's a live performance. Like film clip. So it'll be good to see what she sounds like.
Exactly. Because there's a lot of them that I've listened to live as well as the music video. And the live doesn't hold up.
Oh, hello, solo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, girl.
So,
and that's getting so many plays, the video, but when you see it live, you're like,
what's her name? Lazara, is it?
No. Yeah, Lazara is the France one.
French one. Yeah.
Yeah. Blanca is the solo. But yeah, I think France has got it in the bag. And I'm super confident about it. And yeah, she's fucking sexy, man.
Yeah, look, she probably like after Jennifer Aniston, she's always my like. If I had to put it straight,
yeah, Tyler, my fan. Do you need to cool down a bit there? Top one now.
What do you want to know? My number one.
Yeah.
Well, like, can't come as any surprise.
I'm waiting for this.
Yeah.
It's Italy.
So I don't think that you were waiting for that, were you?
No, I was shocked that Ireland's not in your top 5. Then I've been waiting for it every round.
Listen, I have to let I have to put the patriotism to one side and just go right. Genuinely, when you're listening to the playlist on your phone or in your AirPods, how many times do you go straight to Ireland? Hardly any. How many times do I go straight to Italy? All the time. Italy as well, obviously we've said all the nice things that he wets her undercarriages and all that kind of stuff. But I've done it over the course of, say, the last 2 weeks. What song am I waking up in the morning that's straight in my head? Which one of it is? And if it's not France, it's Italy.
Wow.
So, and it's been Italy more often than it's been France. So I just thought, you know what? If I had to sleep with France or sleep with Italy, who am I going to sleep with? It's going to be Italy. So, yeah, I'm getting married in Italy next year. But yeah, it's
the musica.
Look, it's just
Arrivederci the musica.
You have to give his voice so much credit. Like, it's just amazing when he gets into that last minute of the song. And he's just belting it out, like, and you don't even think he's going to go up to that level, but he goes up there and he maintains it, and it's just like, holy shit, you've got some set of lungs on you.
Yeah.
And like the Italians obviously put on a good show, but having that orchestra there with him, and there's nothing going on around him, he's just there in his little gladiator top and just belting it out. Yeah,
and I think that last minute of the song is what got him into my top 5 too, because the rest of the song is, it's not slow, but it's sort of slower. And then when he gets that voice and his facial expression into it, the passion into it, that's what roped him into my top 5, I think. And I think it's going to be a 2-horse race in the end.
It's going to be a strong contender. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Especially because we've got the rest of the world contingency vote now as well. So my top 1.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say. I'm sorry, Pet. I'm sorry, and that's the reason why I'm drinking the Italian beer.
Very good.
I had a feeling about that, Vinny.
Yeah, and I thought I kind of made it too obvious at the start. I was like, "Oh, I'm drinking European beer," but it was my part to take off the Heineken and reveal the Italian from a number 1, and I messed that up.
Well, that's all right. Listeners at home are devastated. So my number 1 pick is Cha 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 Cha.
Holy shit!
Okay. Yeah, I fucking love that song,
and I'm not surprised.
I love him. He also makes my undercarriage moist. His whole thing when he does that, and then the side thing with his arm. I just love it. It's my favorite song out of all of them.
I didn't see that coming.
Eurovision.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I think it's Eurovision in a nutshell, with the color, with the fucking crates, with the fucking cha-cha people, with the fake fucking veneers on their face and the hot pink, everything.
I remember you saying to me when we first listened to the playlist that you love this song, and
I remember him saying that.
I'm a bit like, nah. But then obviously when
I think it's going to do really well, actually. But
I love it.
It's 21 for me.
Huh?
It's 21.
Yeah, I think it's down.
I saw where it ranked in yours. Trust me, I was disgusted in both of yours. I think it's 27 for Tyler.
Yeah, something like that.
What?
27?
There was just other ones that I loved more, okay?
26 times more.
What's your number 1?
Oh, my number 1. Okay. Tuto. And I have to say that as much as the lyrics in that song is amazing and I love the whole thing, that Shuto or Tuto gets me every time.
And the little sway.
Pretty catchy. Yeah.
Tuto, Shuto, Tuto. That's my favorite part.
Heart is beating.
And screaming out the words at the listening party was just like next level shit. And I was just like, I fucking love this song. So, and I think it was
my number one.
Yeah, I love her too.
That made me just go, do you know what? She has to be up there. Like, and I was playing around with it for a little while, but if I hadn't been in that environment where everyone was screaming out the words to it, I think she might not have gotten up there.
Yeah.
But in the end, I was like, that's the one that I listen to the most. That's the one that I scream the words to when it comes on every time.
Good choice. No, I love her. That's actually the same reason why she made my top 3. Because she, as I said, she was bouncing in and out of my top 5, and I just thought, you know what, I fucking love that song.
Yeah, she was in and out of my top 5 for a little bit there, but I think she's very still on the stage.
Yeah. That's right. The performance needs to pick up a bit, and the look.
Yes. And I'm very excited to see how she does it, because I think they all know it's what's riding on it. So I'm hoping to see some really fucking step up performances.
Agreed. So we currently have a special guest from Ireland staying with us who'd like to reveal her number 1 pick for Eurovision this year.
Woo! What was it?
She said Prague, but she means Czechia.
What'd she say?
What's Chechnya?
That's Sister's Crown.
Oh, stop. That's surprising.
Yes. She's been waiting.
She said it on the night that we came over to yours
to do that.
Yay, Ashley!
It was Tyler's number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew, because she said it on the night that we were at your place. She said that was really good.
Yes. Okay, so now that we've got the top 5 from everyone, I've added everyone's rankings together. And from that, we've been able to determine a top 5 for Stupid Bitches Say What. So our collective top 5 based on our ranks. Coming in at number 5 is Sweden, Loreen, Tattoo, with 30 points in total. Coming in at number 4 is Norway, Alessandra, Queen of the Kings, with 23 points in total. It's a pretty strong top 5 thus far. Coming in at number 3 is Lithuania, with 19 points in total. And now we have a fight for top 2. And I can reveal in our top 2 is Italy and France.
So I told you, 2-horse race, mate.
Coming in at number 2 with 17 points is France with Eva Diamant. And coming in at number 1 is Italy with Giudice with 10 points total.
Yeah.
So he's a clear winner for our choices at number 10 with 10 points from all of our scores combined. Do you want to know who the bottom 5 are?
Yeah.
All right, coming in at the 5th bottom is Denmark, Breaking My Heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting the worst votes from Tyler, and Vinny and Sky both ranked it at Tyler, you ranked him 33. Vinny and Sky both ranked him at 29. I gave him 15. Coming in at 4th last is Cyprus, Andrew Lambrou, my sweep straw at work. Yeah, he got a pretty low score from everyone. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Coming in at 3rd last is Moldova with Sorella Saluna. He ranked pretty terribly amongst you, Vinny, and amongst Sky, Vinny, and Tyler, all going from 34, 35, 36.
Great minds, guys.
I gave him 28. Spain comes in 2nd last.
Ooh.
I gave her 36th spot. Vinny gave her last spot. Tyler and I, Sky and I both ranked her at 36. Tyler gave her 25. And then who do you reckon's last?
Mamashke. Nah, it wouldn't be.
Duje. EA.
No, that was
or DGT.
It's fucking Portugal's Mimi Cat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I gave her last spot. in my ranking. Vinny gave her 35. Sky gave him 34, and Tyler gave her 32.
Wow. There you
So,
go.
I love that there's that consistency there, that we're all kind of
agree.
like, you know, yeah, these ones are definitely fucking shit.
So
Overall-
my bottom 10 was sort of just freaking whatever.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the difference
Whatever
between
it was.
34 and 33?
Yeah, but my last couple were pretty set.
I knew, same as you, Tyler, I had my bottoms, but I knew who were the definite bottoms out of those as well.
Yeah, me too.
I had my tops, my mids, and my bottoms.
Yeah.
I went
same.
straight to my bottom. I went, yeah, Spain 37. Hate it. She screeches the whole way through the fucking song. It's like, calm down, love.
You'll be pleased to know. Well, I think we should be pleased to know that Australia actually just missed out on our top 5 overall.
Yeah.
And it wasn't top 5 in any of ours, but they came in at 6.
Yeah.
And so they had a combined score of 34, where Sweden had a combined score of 30. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. See, I had Australia was every time I listened to it, it got better and better and better.
Yeah.
But I just knew that Dua Vitae was the better song, and I fucking hate that. I hate it so much.
You have to put your allegiance to the side.
Well, Sky's the one
I had
who
to,
let
I
down
had to.
Australia in the rankings. So I gave them 8. Vinny gave them 7. You gave them 6, Tyler. Sky gave them 13. They could have made it in if Sky was a little bit kinder and got them in the top 10.
Yeah. Well, they were down lower for me, and then the more the last couple of weeks I listened to them, it was just they just picked it up big time.
Yeah.
They were up and down. So like Ireland too. Ireland was in my top 5 for ages.
Really?
Yeah,
Me
I
too,
know.
actually, because
but
I
then
think
it was
to listen to, they were great.
but then they dropped down a lot as well, and then they picked back up into my top 5, and then I listened to a lot of the songs again, and I was like, nah, I can't put it in. It's just not gonna happen.
I get it.
I just don't think it's gonna happen. And I feel bad for you, Vinny, but I don't think they're gonna
Well,
do it.
Vinny
I
should
think
be proud
they'll
and-
do better than That's Rich. I think they'll make the grand final.
I hope so.
Oh, I really fucking hope so. We need a crack at the grand final, and just like fucking just
'Cause
add
they're-
like more excitement to the day as well. If we're
because the We Are One is about Eurovision, right? Like it's
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
very Eurovision centered, but I think
Themed.
I just think they tried a bit too hard.
Well, Ireland got is in our top 8, so they're our 8th pick overall.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
which I'm quite pleased about, because we're all
Finland-
being honest, and it's not just about because I'm Irish.
Even with your shitty fucking scoring for Finland, with our top 1s, they got into the top 9, and the UK rounded out the top 10. Bridges was 7.
That's
Yeah.
respectable.
That's respectable. And Iceland got 11, and no one mentioned her. Tyler and fucking Vinny both bombed on her.
Iceland, which
gave
one was
them
Iceland
9.
again?
Did
Did
I
she
have
learn
the
to-
power.
I love the
Oh.
power. Power is
So,
fucking 6 for me.
Her live
Yeah, over 9
performance.
for me.
Her live performance fucked me up. I feel like it was
Again.
all over the place.
It was a
And
blazer.
she could have taken her jacket off earlier.
Lose the
And
And that
blazer.
probably would have bumped her up a bit.
You
Step
can't
up
wear
the
a blazer on a
performance.
Eurovision stage. You can't.
Exactly right.
Not for
I don't
blazer.
reckon she's going to wear it. Because,
Like if you go back 2 years ago, everyone had one of those sparkly dresses on. No one had a fucking blazer. It's not coming back in yet.
Yeah.
Don't wear
Shoulder
it.
pads, yes.
Shoulder pads
Blazer,
fair enough
no.
with points. Yes, acceptable. Fucking blazers. Like we all have one of them.
You'll be pleased to know, Sky, that the Netherlands scored 12 overall with our combined group with Burning Daylight. And right underneath them was Latvia with Asia, Sudden Lights.
I love Asia.
Yeah, me too.
It's all right. Yeah.
I like it too.
Where did
Asia was
Carp,
8 for me.
where was Carpe Diem?
So they've come overall 15th. They were
Yeah.
my number 6.
Yeah, right.
You
They were my
fuckers all-
23rd.
Yeah, you gave it 23rd.
Really? 23rd? Shit.
Yeah, I
this-
like Carpe Diem. I think it's a great little
Where did
song.
I put it?
17. Vinny gave it 19.
Okay. Fair enough.
Any
So
other-
your score was the only one that bumped it up, Vinny.
Pretty
I mean,
much.
Bino.
Yeah, because I gave him 6.
Sean, you absolutely decimated my sister's crown.
Yeah.
Where
I,
did you
So
put
did
it, Sean?
I.
Where the fuck did you put it, Sky?
I gave
30.
it 32. Sky gave it 30.
Oh, it's disgusting.
That's a massive discrepancy.
Yeah, no, I don't rate it at all.
No,
Better
me
give it
neither.
to
Yeah, well, you know what? It's going to come like 3rd or 4th, I bet you.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
Yeah, well, I don't like you, Kate.
Oh yeah, where did Mama see you go?
So
I
Tyler
gave it
Mama
last.
C 37. They end up being 23rd overall. I gave him 6.
I think it's a dumb fucking song.
I love the film clip.
Yeah,
Mama,
I do too.
my mama bought a tractor. What the fuck is that shit?
I don't know. Just
No one cares about. No one cares about
Mama
anyone
said-
buying a tractor.
All right, so that's our overall rankings, which I think is very
That's
interesting.
really, really good.
So our top 5: Italy, France, Lithuania, Norway, Sweden. Strong top 5, guys.
Totes strong
Pretty
top
good.
5.
Yeah, and if we were to go with realistically, like if we were just to take it out of our favorites, who do we think, putting favorites to decide, would be the top 5? I still think Italy, France.
I'd like to think what we've got
Sweden.
as our overall.
Yeah, I think
pick.
Italy and France are going to have a real good go of it.
I'd like Lithuania to be a bit of a dark.
I'd like to see Lithuania up there.
I'd like to see maybe a dark horse, but I said weeks ago that it's a 2-horse race with Italy and France.
So yeah,
I think so.
too.
I think it is. I think
Yeah.
it's.
I think it's
definitely
just
gonna be down
obvious.
to
It's
them
just-
two. Yeah.
It's just a Veda Mole.
It'll be the one to watch.
It's obviously going to be them two.
It's going to be 12 points, 10 points, 12 points, 10 points, shooting between both of those countries. I
No,
reckon.
because then again, it's the political stuff too, isn't it?
Hmm.
Like, I think Ukraine's going to still cop 12 points.
I think it's
Ugh.
going to cop heaps of votes, yeah, which is going to be super
But
disappointing.
you know
'cause it's a
what?
shit song.
Annoying.
I'm beginning to think now that they've had their pity vote. Do you know what
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean?
hoping
they got
that.
their turn. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's like the whole impact of everything that was going on was so fresh last year that now it's kind of coming like it's not.
It's normal,
It's not,
but it's still going on though. It's still big time.
Yeah,
And-
especially if you live in Europe, I think.
But it's
closer
not-
to
Exactly.
the border.
I don't think it's front and center of people's minds anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Except the countries close to it that are still affected by it.
Yeah, Poland. And
Yeah,
Poland.
the Finlands and the Finlands and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I think this year they might put the pity to one side.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what the actual overall score is and compare
Mm.
that to our top
Yeah.
20 and see what
Me
ones we
too.
got right. And then we'll just do a quick special mention, obviously, from home for our Australian act Voyager going forward with Promise. And also for our Ireland contingency.
We are one.
Hopefully we'll make it into the grand final this
Fingers
year.
crossed. Better bloody happen. We need it. We need it.
It'd just be great for Ireland overall.
Yeah.
I'll play it.
Well, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed our annual Eurovision Special and Season 5 finale.
Special thanks to our spousal guests, Vinny and Tyler, for joining in this week. We can't wait to grace your headsets again as we come back in June this year for Season 6 of Stupid Bitches Say What. And if you aren't following our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe to it at StupidBSayWhat. Season 5 will be uploaded throughout May, starting with our Eurovision Special. Oh, and remember, if you're whining, you're winning.
Winning.
You
Night, stupid bitches.
Good night,
Yeah.
stupid bitches.
Good night.
You
Thanks for having us. And good night, everyone. Thank you for listening.
bitch.
That stupid
bitch.
bitch. Love you, bitches.
Love you. Mwah. We've got to go.
Yeah, that stupid bitch. He's a stupid bitch. What a stupid bitch. That stupid bitch.